So this will be a little different video, much like the title says. It was cold and wet, so I took the opportunity to go to an auction. I wasn't necessarily there to buy anything. I mostly went to look at a couple machines that were there. Namely, the machine on the screen here is a Field-Marshal tractor produced between 1945 and 1957 in England. This particular model, single cylinder, 40 horsepower, shotgun shell start. I had never actually seen one before. So I figured I would drive, I think I spent about 3.5 hours on the road, and I would go to the auction and see what I could find. The gentleman that owned these tractors that was selling them did start them up. It was actually a pretty cool process. You can see the big flywheel there, and you can see the pulley that runs the water pump. And then here's the front. You can see the clutch over here on the right side of the tractor as you're staring at it from the front. It is a diesel. The little opening there in the hood is for basically a wick that would light the diesel fuel. It kind of acts like a glow plug. That's what I was reading about them. I don't know a lot about these machines. That's why I went to the auction to see. Probably one of the coolest things about these tractors is just their sound. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a video of them starting it, but the sound is pretty cool. And here's just a close-up view of how that water pump runs off that pulley, so you can see the belt right there, and you see the radiator. It's all housed in there, and yeah, pretty cool stuff. Here in just a second, a picture is going to come on the screen that's going to have a plastic tub, as you can see here, and the plastic tub is what contained the shotgun shells. They're just blank shotgun shells. If you rotate the flywheel to the certain mark, basically then you tap the starting with a hammer, and basically starts the downward stroke of the piston, and when it comes back around it catches, and that's how you start it. So this tractor was equipped with a PTO. Did not expect that. When I saw the PTO back there, I thought that was pretty interesting. And so, yeah, it was pretty cool. I'll let you listen to this one run for just a second, and I'll show you the next thing that I went to the auction for. So what's better than a tire-driven tractor? A crawler tractor. This is very similar, 40 horsepower again, much shotgun start. They did not start this one, but it is basically a track-type tractor. Pretty cool little machine. Evidently, it had been sitting a while, and I think it had some radiator issues. I'm trying to remember what they sold for. I think the tire version that was running sold for $16,000, and this track type sold for $11,500 maybe. So yeah, really interesting auction. You can see in the background, I've won a couple pictures. Some of the other things that I was there to look at, John Deere 950, and then these next pictures coming up. So, of course, if I was going to go to an auction, I'm going to look at John Deere stuff. As part of a consignment for this auction, there was a 3 horsepower and a 1.5 horsepower John Deere Model E engines. I actually did bid on these. I did not win either one. The 3 horsepower looked like it just had a spray bomb restoration. And then the 1.5 horsepower, evidently the magneto didn't work too well on it. I'm still kind of new to the hit and miss stuff, so I may be using these terms incorrectly. In addition to the John Deere engines, there was also a 30 kilowatt GM diesel generator. Sold as a complete unit, hooked into automatic transfer switch, etc. Two-stroke, 271 GM diesel engine. Kind of a cool little setup. All total, I think the generator itself was 3,500 pounds. Came mounted on its own trailer, and had a 150-gallon fuel tank, its own oil reservoir, and a couple other things. And I think it sold for 4,600. I did just look up that track type Field-Marshal or Fowler tractor. It sold for $8,000, and the tire Field-Marshal sold for 16. This unit right here sold for 4,600. I just looked that up. So yeah, kind of a cool little setup. Now, of course, I wasn't going to leave an auction empty-handed, and I ended up only coming home with one thing, but I'm actually pretty excited about it. I've been looking for one of these for a while. Ended up buying a John Deere heater. So this is my A90 John Deere heater, 90,000 BTUs. Actually, really nice running unit on the top of it for the auction. It actually said it checked in March. I got it home. Works like a champ. Obviously, I don't need it this time of year, but I have it for next winter. That gives me 2 kerosene heaters. I think this one has diesel fuel in it right now. But yeah, it works really, really well. I've actually been looking for one of these for a while. I actually passed on one that did not work a couple years ago, and then I found a couple on Craigslist, and they were either non-running or they were just in such poor condition. This one's in great condition. I'm still working on getting it cleaned up, and hopefully I'll may do a video on it once I get it cleaned up in a couple weeks. But speaking of, this will probably be my last video for a week or two. We're going to go on vacation, and so you probably won't see any videos from me in a while for probably a week or so. But when I get back, work on the 455 a little bit more. I've got a 214 project, and then I got to finish that 318. The 318 basically had a flyball spacer go bad, and I'll explain that in a coming video. It'll probably, like I said, it'll be a week or so. I'm a little bit behind on making videos, mostly because right now I'm trying to keep up with mowing grass and a full-time job. So yeah, we'll get the 318 finished, and then that 214 project will be pretty simple. Then we'll get down to summer yard care. That's why I got the picture of the 140 and the 60-gallon John Deere sprayer. I used it about a week and a half ago to put some Roundup out on the driveway. Mixed up about 20 gallons. Kind of a nice pair between those two. I don't know if I'd trust the 140 to have enough weight with a full 60 gallons of spray, but 20-30 gallons should be perfectly fine. So anyway, that's it for about a week, and then we'll get back to normal videos. I had been doing pretty good, a video every 2 days since about January, but just need to take some time and do some other stuff. So it'll probably be about a week, and I'll get videos back up and going again. So thank you very much for watching.